Picture this: Austin, Texas. The sun's blazing, the crowd's roaring, and every camera is pointed straight at one garage: Red Bull. Because something's happening inside that no one expected. After weeks of silence, rumours and pressure, the team has just rolled out what insiders are calling the secret weapon. And if it works, it could flip the entire championship on its head. This isn't just another small tweak or minor aero fix. No, Red Bull has brought a brand new floor and beam wing package to the US Grand Prix. It's their most aggressive mid-season change since 2022, and it comes at a moment when the team's dominance has finally started to crack. McLaren's momentum is surging. Mercedes has quietly closed the gap, and Verstappen, he's been fighting a car that just doesn't feel like his. But now all eyes are on this upgrade, and the question haunting everyone is simple: can this save Red Bull's season? Before we dive deep, quick one: hit that subscribe button in 3 seconds before Max's telemetry goes red. Now let's unpack what's really happening inside that garage. The story begins weeks ago. After Singapore, Verstappen's frustration was impossible to hide. The RB21B was losing its balance, snapping mid-corner, struggling for traction, and eating its tyres alive. He said it himself: "We've lost the feeling. The car isn't talking to me anymore." That sentence sent shockwaves through Milton Keynes, because when Verstappen loses confidence, Red Bull loses its edge. And so, behind closed doors, the team began a quiet but intense redesign. Not of the power unit, not of the suspension, but of the car's aerodynamic soul. This brings us to Austin, the so-called secret upgrade. On paper, it's a revised floor geometry paired with a narrower beam wing. But in practice, it's a full-blown gamble. Engineers have re-sculpted the underfloor tunnels to recover the rear downforce Max has been missing, trading stability for agility. Why Austin? Because Circuit of the Americas exposes weaknesses brutally. The high-speed S's punish poor balance. The long straights reveal drag inefficiency. The bumpy surface tests suspension travel. It's the perfect laboratory Abapad, or the perfect disaster. Here's where it gets fascinating. According to paddock insiders, this new floor concept isn't entirely new. It's something Adrian Newey experimented with before stepping back from direct car development earlier this year. His fingerprints are still on the CFD models, subtle underfloor contour changes that alter airflow by millimeters but generate huge performance shifts at 300 kilometers per hour. In short, this is a Newey ghost upgrade, designed months ago, revived now out of necessity. The floor works in sync with a modified diffuser edge that bleeds air pressure more efficiently. The goal? To give Verstappen the rear-end confidence he's been begging for. The feeling that lets him throw the car into corners without fear. But the trade-off is brutal. More rear grip means less top-end speed, higher fuel load, and possible overheating in traffic. And in Austin, where the sprint format leaves almost no time to test setups, that's playing with fire. And yet, Red Bull's done it before. Remember Brazil 2022? A last-minute setup change saved their weekend. But that was when they were dominant. Now, they're the ones chasing. While Red Bull is testing this radical concept, and McLaren's sticking to their proven Singapore spec floor: stable, balanced, consistent. Mercedes, meanwhile, brings a trimmed-out rear wing for top speed advantage. So, in essence, McLaren plays safe, Mercedes plays smart, and Red Bull, they're going all in. Pattern interrupt here. Imagine this. You're Verstappen. You hit turn 1 uphill. The car rotates smoother than ever, but mid-corner you feel the floor shift just slightly. That's the airflow separation they've been fighting all year. One wrong ride height setting and your lap's destroyed. That's how thin the line is between genius and failure this weekend. Now, here's where things get emotional, because this upgrade isn't just about speed, it's about pride. Red Bull has built its legacy on innovation, precision, and untouchable execution. But for the first time in years, they're reacting instead of leading. And that pressure is suffocating. Max Verstappen knows it too. You can hear it in his radio calls. Shorter, sharper, colder. He's not fighting other drivers anymore. He's fighting his own car. That's why Austin matters. It's his shot at redemption, the place to prove Red Bull still has teeth. If this upgrade works, it'll stabilise rear rotation, restore tyre life, and let Max push the limits again. If it fails, McLaren's championship lead might become untouchable. And that's how serious this gamble is. Add the sprint format, limited setup time, maximum pressure, and you've got the perfect recipe for chaos. And remember, Red Bull isn't the only one bringing firepower. Ferrari's new low-drag rear wing, Mercedes' rear suspension tweak, all of them converge here. Austin could genuinely reshape the title race. Now here's the kicker. If this upgrade hits, Verstappen could reclaim the performance edge he lost months ago. But if it doesn't, Red Bull will have to shift focus to 2026 earlier than they ever planned. That means conceding both the constructors' and the drivers' titles, a humiliation they haven't faced in over half a decade. So what does this all mean? It means we're witnessing the turning point of the 2025 season, maybe even of Red Bull's modern dynasty. Before we wrap, quick question for you. Do you think this secret flaw is Red Bull's miracle comeback, or just desperation disguised as innovation? Drop your thoughts below. I'll pin the best one. And if you want to understand how McLaren's papaya rules might completely implode during this same weekend, click the video right here, because that story might explain why Norris and Piastri's rivalry could hand Verstappen his way back to glory. Until next time, stay tuned, stay curious, and keep your eyes on Austin. Because whatever happens this weekend, Formula One will never be the same again.